Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org, for more info, or you can always email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Richard J. Choura. We'll be discussing his fantastic book, Enrichment of the Self and Soul. Available for purchase at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or if you guys want to get everything that Richard has to offer, do yourself a favor and go directly to his personal site, richardchoura.com. There, not only will you find more information on him, you'll find more information on this book, as well as find hyperlinks set up to take you to the purchasing page. So one more time, that's richardchoura.com. And I will say, Richard was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by some of the best movers in the business. Author, Reputation Press Publishing. So if you have a book that you'd like moved, well, do yourself a favor and contact ARP. And you can find out more information on them at authorreputationpress.com. So without further ado, let's bring him here on the line with us. Richard, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you?
Good, Benji. Thank you for having me here. It's a great opportunity, and I'm very honored to be here with you today.
Well, listen, the honor is all ours. We're very much looking forward to the education that we're going to be able to receive from you. Now, I know we have so much information to cover, Richard, so without further ado, first and foremost, tell us a little bit more about your book.
Well, Benji, Enrichment of the Self and Soul is a book that informs, inspires, and describes the self as an essential part of spirituality and a more meaningful life. It also has many important facts that are interesting and add meaning to your life. Self is not just part of self-esteem and personality. It's a big part of spirituality, culture, and the arts. This book describes the self in dozens of ways and also shows that it is a very big part of high achievements. This book describes how the power of self can be harnessed by combining spiritual and artistic vision, culture, science, and sacredness to make your life more meaningful. It claims the self can be intellectually grasped and scientifically examined. This book describes how others have experienced a wealth of moments on how to enhance oneself and the soul by combining self with other fields so as to instill inside yourself ideas that are so essential for spirituality. This book answers the need for those who are looking for spirituality to satisfy their self and soul in a new way than what they have been doing. It is for the Generation X, Millennials, Baby Boomers, Silent Generation, and a new group called Nothing in Particular, plus atheists, agnostics, and pandemics. Some of these people are in the shadows and feel cut off and helpless because of the pandemic, globalization, or the economy.
Now, Richard, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, Benji, I wrote this book because I could hardly find any books about the self, and I found many high achievers that it was important. I found that it was important in many different subject matters, and that people would want to know about it before they died. I found that it was a good way to enrich your self and soul.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we know that there are so many books out there about spirituality. In your opinion, Richard, what makes your book unique?
Well, there are very few books out there, such as The Enrichment of the Self and Soul, that gives you a full description of what the self is, from different spiritual, cultural, and scientific viewpoints, life psychology, religion, art, philosophy, physiology, music, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Enrichment of the Self and Soul is one of the only books that helps you to learn about your spiritual and everyday self. It is one of the few books that reveals mysteries that affect yourself. It stretches your spirituality, knowledge, and personal vision and lifts you to a new level. It is the only book out there that gives the reader various explanations of what the self is and how you can use it to better your life, your meaning, and get a better spirituality. This book is unique because it increases your understanding of how the self has inspired many great achievers to prosper. It shows how you can be part of a higher achievement in spirituality, art, philosophy, music, and literature, and more.
And what is the purpose of the book?
The purpose of this book is to give readers an enriched self and soul so that they can find a deeper, more satisfying meaning in life that they are looking for. Its purpose is to reveal what the elements of the self are. It makes profound mysteries easy to understand and shows that they relate to the self and soul. It offers new illuminations for enhancement of the self and soul. This book helps you understand mysteries that you would ordinarily miss. The purpose of this book is to help the reader possess spiritual growth with creative thought, the sacredness of origin, the holiness of originality, the dew of freshness, the priority of philosophical genius, and a capacity to extract knowledge with an intensity of feeling that no one has done before.
You know, and I'm curious, Richard, who is your target audience?
Well, Benji, this book actually beckons readers from every walk of life, but it should be included in the genre of books about spirituality, self-help, metaphysics, thinking and consciousness, and philosophy. It is a tour de force of the self. In general, my target audience is those who see a message of change from God in the pandemic virus. Recent polls show that believers feel that God is telling humanity to change how it lives. The University of Chicago School of Divinity and the Associated Press branch called NORC, Center for Public Affairs, show that people were searching for deeper meaning and spirituality outside their faith, even before the pandemic began. Many feel that they should get their act together. Many feel if they don't, the misery will continue. Many are feeling anxious, lonely, and depressed. The result is that many are seeking answers and something that will give them more satisfaction and deeper meaning in spirituality and everyday life. Enrichment of the Self and Soul is a book that solves this problem for that audience. It helps you understand the mystery of your true self and shows you a new way to connecting spiritual and intellectual vision with culture, science, sacredness, and cosmic vision. Mm-hmm. It has many descriptions that people will have.
Guys, again, here on the line with Richard J. Choura. We're discussing his fantastic book, Enrichment of the Self and Soul, available for purchase at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or directly through his site, richardchoura.com. You know, Richard, thank you so much for all the information that you've given thus far. You know, and I think we've already started to go into it, but I'd love to have it just re-impressed one more time for us. What is your message of the book?
Well, Benji, my message is people aren't born knowing how to manage their spirituality or how to find meaning in life, and everybody makes mistakes. Mm-hmm. Too often people feel there's something wrong with themselves when they have trouble paying their bills. They feel unworthy, guilt, or shame. Others may have left their faith. What you can do. By reading this book, you will learn why other great people think the self is important and some pathways for you that will make you a higher achiever. You will also learn about some of life's mysteries, which are quite interesting and important. According to Albert Einstein, the most beautiful and deepest experience a man and woman can have is the sense of the mysterious. In many cultures, knowledge of self and soul is considered one of the most important things in life. Enrichment of self and soul brings the mystery of the self down to earth for everyone and enhances you to become part of higher achievements that connect the physical and metaphysical world related to spirituality, psychology, art, religion, quantum physics, and philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Also called the state of the soul or principle of life, everyone can use the enriched self to improve their spirituality, meaning in life, and creative energies. Your time is limited, so don't waste time waiting to do something. You don't need magic to change yourself. Be good to yourself, and you can become better today. Learning about yourself may put you on to epiphanies and cosmic thinking that have the power to change your vision and increase your spirituality. It is important to read this book because it will add to your spirituality and reveal mysteries and facts that could better your life.
Now, Richard, how long did it take you to write the book?
Well, Benji, it took me 6 years of hard work.
Wow. Now, following off of that, but sticking with the concept of the creation, what research went into creating the book?
I researched books of authors in many different university libraries in 5 different states. I also bought and read many, many books from bookstores in fields of interest such as literature, comparative religion, psychology, quantum physics, art, sociology, poetry, history, and theology, all with positive viewpoints and experiences of the self. It showed that many famous people thought knowledge of the self was important for success in life.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is the advantage of reading The Self and Soul?
A famous writer once said, always read stuff that will make you look good in case you die in the middle of it. There are a few books out there that give you a full description of what the self is and how it's important from different aesthetic, culture, and scientific viewpoints. It helps you learn all you can about yourself. It will stretch your spirituality and meaning in life and personal vision to a new level. It will adjust your spirituality to a new focus. It also tells you about many of life's mysteries that affect your spiritual and everyday self. In the book of life, those who do not learn about the self read only one page. That is why in many cultures there are customs for learning about the self from an earlier age.
You know, and as we start to tie up this fantastic interview, Richard, in your opinion, what is the need for this book?
Well, Benji, I would say that reading Enrichment of the Self and Soul, the need is, it's the secret sauce to connecting satisfying spirituality and meaning to your everyday life. It's like the linchpin to success and growth in your personality. You will learn a lot about subjects you didn't know about, and in the process become a more fulfilled person. If you don't read this book, you are like a stained glass window in the dark, waiting for the light. Now, Socrates said, knowledge is the food of the soul. He said, knowledge is the food of the soul. And Yogi Berra said, you have to be careful. If you don't know where you're going, you may never get there. Anyway, one of the greatest triumphs is to solve life's mysteries and overcome life's randomness and the mundane. Learn why the self is important for you and has powered all the greatest achievers. Now is the time to renew areas of your life that need hope. Embrace the strength of an enriched self and soul for the journey forward. The longer you wait, the less time you'll have to enjoy better. Take time to read Enrichment of the Self and Soul.
You know, Richard, I've been doing this for quite some time now, and I think that is the very first Yogi Bear reference that I've had on the network. That was fantastic. I love it. And it worked so seamlessly. I mean, that was wonderfully put, man. That was great.
Thank you, Benji. Thank you.
Guys, listen, what more can be said? You know what you have to do. There's no getting around it. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, richardchoura.com is where you have to go to purchase the book. Enrichment of the Self and Soul is the title that you have to get. And Richard J. Choura is the person you have to thank for bringing it to your table. You surely will not be disappointed. Let's grow, let's develop, let's educate ourselves. Let's go more in depth with understanding ourselves, because when we understand ourselves better, we can learn to love each other better, right? I mean, it's kind of like that old adage, you can't love someone else until you love yourself, or until you know how to love yourself, until you know how to appreciate yourself. And once you start to really figure that out, imagine the type of love and respect and understanding you'll be able to give out to others. It's fantastic stuff. Richard, once again, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction.
Thank you, Benji, for having me here, and thanks for this opportunity. It's been fun being with you and a pleasure. Thank you.